What is up, everyone? Today we're going to be doing the 2022 NBA season award predictions. Hopefully, I said that right, but we're just going to go run through who won the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved, Rookie of the Year, stuff like that. So, hopefully, you'll enjoy this video. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while now. Now that the season's coming closer to an end, thought it'd be a perfect time. A reminder, this is just my opinion. So don't get too offended or don't come at me if I said something that you didn't like or if I left someone out. It's just all fun. There have been a lot of surprises this year. I have not been disappointed myself. But yeah, it's just supposed to be fun. And I know there's a lot of people that have very strong opinions. I am like that. I get that. But just relax and just hear me out. All right. We're going to start it off easy. We're going to run through the Coach of the Year. That's kind of the just whatever award, kind of. Just not too many people care about that. But it's a big thing. It's a big deal. My coach, Quinn Snyder, I'm a Jazz fan. If you don't know, it's kind of questionable. He's been in Coach of the Year in the past years, in the runnings, in talks, but not this year. But enough of that. Coaches play a big part in offenses and just X's and O's. They have the game plan. They tell the players what to run in certain times, clutch plays. They control a lot more than the casual fan thinks. After doing a little research, thought it was pretty interesting. All right, so right now I just have three guys. It's going to be Coach Bud, Monty, and JB Bickerstaff. I left off notable people that I thought that could, but I feel like there are some just a little better, being Eric Spoelstra and Ime Udoka. Forgive me if that's not how you pronounce his name. Doing the best I can. Alright, so right now we're going to start with JB Bickerstaff. No one thought the Cavs were making the playoffs. Nobody. I had them close to the bottom of the East, not even the play-in. Didn't expect that. And then JB Bickerstaff, along with players, they are the 7th seed right now. They are in the play-in tournament, possibly. I don't know if they're fighting for if they're able to fight for a playoff spot, a secure playoff spot, the 6th seed or higher. But right now they're the 7th seed. That says enough. He's a great coach. The players have said good things about him. He's amazing. All right, second we got Monty Williams. He's literally has the best record in the entire NBA with the Suns, if you aren't familiar with Monty Williams. Ever since Monty was their coach, they just went on a tear, really. Ever since the bubble, they figured something out. Monty's been their guy. Devin Booker loves him. Chris Paul loves him. He's an amazing person. I can't remember a quote that Chris Paul said on the podcast, but he's given Monty nothing but praise. 1 seed. It's usually who wins. Coach of the Year is the 1 seed. Whoever has the best record. I mean, that's how it is in 2K2, but in real life, it's usually the person with the 1 seed. Dwayne Casey was the 1 seed, but then he got fired this next year, but he was still the 1 seed. That being said, Monty Williams is probably the head for Coach of the Year. I shouldn't be spending this much time on Coach of the Year. Mike Budenholzer, Bucks. I think he won Coach of the Year last year. I believe it was the last year. But yeah, I remember when Bucks fans wanted him fired as well. But he went on to win Coach of the Year. He's the 2nd seed this year, a few games away from that 1 spot. In the East, But yeah, so it's pretty obvious who I'm going with. I'm just going with not MVP. Whole if Monty Williams won MVP, I mean he's the MVP of their team. So I mean why not? But Coach of the Year, Monty Williams. Next we're going for Rookie of the Year. We have Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes, and Evan Mobley. Right now, Evan Mobley, in the latest NBA ladder predictions, whatever, he was number one with 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2.5 assists. Didn't think he'd be that much of an impact for the Cavs. Like I said, they're the 7th seed right now. I think that's what I said. Fighting for a playoff spot. And a big reason why they're even in the playoff picture is because of Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley's great. He can stretch the floor a little bit. I know he's not shooting that great from 3, but he can still hit that mid-range. He's been doing great defensively. He's averaging 15 points, 8 rebounds, and around 2.5 assists. So he can pass a little bit, grab some boards. I've heard early in the season people were comparing him to maybe Tim Duncan, which that is quite a comparison. So that if that doesn't tell you enough, like Evan Mobley's just great and leading the Cavs to a playoff spot. Wouldn't say leading, but he's definitely a big reason. Now we got Cade Cunningham, 17 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5.5, I think, around there assists. Early in the season, he was struggling a little bit, but then he kind of found his groove later on in the season, and he's doing great for the Pistons, distributing the ball. He's really that long playmaker that that the Pistons were looking for, and they really got him. They were afraid that they were going to run into another Darko kind of situation where it's kind of a bust, but it looks like he's actually the real deal. And they just need a few more pieces to get them going. Hopefully they'll get something going soon in free agency or even just the draft that's coming up. But I'm not sure where they're standing in the East, but I don't think they'll be getting anywhere this year at least. So next we got Scotty Barnes. 15.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. Big reason why the Raptors have kind of found new life. Last season, I think they missed the playoffs. I could be wrong. Sorry, Raptors fans. My brain doesn't work like it used to. But Scotty Barnes, that long defensive athlete that the Raptors needed, that fits well next to Pascal Siakam. It's really like they compared him to Kawhi. Dude, I cannot speak right now. I'm sorry. They compared him to Kawhi earlier, but he's kind of just that long athlete, athletic, little bit defensive player, shooting all right for a rookie. With a few years of development, they can really get him going. Scotty Barnes can be that guy, in my opinion, or at least to be the third option on a championship team. They just can. They have pieces that are coming. They have Gary Trent that's doing all right. Pascal. They still got Fred VanVleet. They are still a good team. They can get something going soon, but we're just specifically talking about Scotty right now. Great player. I think for this pick, I'm going to have to go with Evan Mobley, though. He's been the biggest, most consistent player, or rookie, this year. So, going with Evan Mobley. Notable mentions to Franz Wagner and Josh Giddey. All right, Sixth Man of the Year. Now we're getting to the higher up awards, or awards that actually, like, I wouldn't say matter, but people are more excited to see. Sixth Man of the Year, we have, at least I have, Kevin Love, Kelly Oubre Jr., and Tyler Hero. All right, so we got Kelly Oubre Jr. He's averaging 15 points, 4 rebounds off the bench, doing very well. Charlotte's fighting for, I think they have a play-in spot. Not sure how too far out. I think they're the 9 seed at the moment. But Kelly Oubre having a little down in his shooting year, but he's still averaging 15 points. Like, that's really good. Really good for off the bench. It's that spark that Charlotte needs. Really fits nice next to LaMelo. Really fits nice next to Miles. He's a great player. He kind of fell off in Golden State, and like he was doing good in Phoenix, and they traded him to the Warriors, and then he just kind of fell off. Something happened, didn't fit well next to anybody, and then he found his way to Charlotte, and now he's doing good things. Kevin Love, averaging 13 points off the bench, 7 rebounds. Another reason why Cleveland is in the running for a solid playoff spot. They are a good team with good players, good coaching. This team is not to just be, tossed to the side. They can make an Atlanta run, in my opinion. Like last year, Atlanta Hawks, no one thought that they would go to the, I think it was Western Conference Finals, but they did. And, didn't they make it? Yeah, they did. They beat the Knicks, Sixers. Yes, they made it to the conference finals. But Cleveland can be that team. They can upset a lot of teams. They've shown that they can during the regular season, and I think that they can in the playoffs. They're young. They have veteran leadership, too, with Kevin Love. That's a great example of why he's in Sixth Man of the Year. He's just a great backup center. I think they're using him as center. I can't really remember. Probably not, because they have a giant roster. Probably not center. Backup power forward, small forward type deal. I think this is his best year since the championship run with LeBron. But he's doing all right. He's doing great. Probably not the pick for Sixth Man of the Year, but you can't leave out Kevin Love's name. You got to put some respect on him. Then we got Tyler Hero. When I looked at this, I was kind of amazed. Off the bench, we got 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. 20 points off the bench? That's hard to do. Tyler Hero he kind of fell off last year, and everyone thought that he was kind of a bubble performer, kind of just catch and shoot, wing. I mean, he is, but they didn't think that he'd be like this. No one thought that he'd be like this. Tyler Hero, obviously the pick for Sixth Man of the Year, doing great things in Miami. 1 seed, huge reason why, if not the reason why. If Tyler Hero wasn't playing this great, they wouldn't be the 1 seed at the moment. Next, let's move on to Most Improved Player. We have a lot of Most Improved Players. We got John Morant, Miles Bridges, Desmond Bane, Darius Garland. That is a lot of names. The league is just getting better. You'd love to see it. Let's start off with Darius Garland. I know I've talked a lot about the Cavs this episode, but man, the Cavs have really surprised a lot of people. Darius Garland, last year is averaging 17 points. This year is 21 points. Last year he averaged 6 assists. This year it's 9. 7 seed, everybody. Darius Garland, I think he went out with an injury earlier this season. He's been back. Been balling. This year he's just been doing big things. Darius Garland, sleeper on Most Improved Player. Alright, we're going to move on to Desmond Bane. When I looked at this also blew my mind, okay? Last year he averaged 9 points. Great efficiency. Now he's averaging, guess what? 18 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. Huge scorer off the bench. This team is so tight together and they have fun. They're laughing. They have that Mamba mentality. They are a huge sleeper for a championship run. They just beat Phoenix a few nights ago. Phoenix, they made it to the finals last year. They beat them. Man, this Grizzly team is nice. Desmond Bain stepping up this year, huge. The trust that they have in each other is insane. Desmond Bain, candidate for most improved. Miles Bridges, last year he averaged 12. This year he's averaging 20. Oh my God. This team, or this group that we have for most improved player they've been doing big things. But Miles Bridges, 20 points. 12 last year, 20 points this year. 4 assists, 6 rebounds. Big numbers for the Charlotte team. He's been that scorer. I can't remember if he made the All-Star. He didn't make the All-Star game. He was definitely snubbed. Definitely deserved that over a couple people in my mind. Actually, I don't know, but he stepped it up this year. No one really thought that he'd be like this after these past few years that they've seen of Miles. But he's still young, still growing. He hasn't hit his prime yet, and that's going to be nice to see. I'm excited to see this kid grow. All right, we got John Morant. Last year, he averaged 19. This year, 26.5. 27 points isn't easy to get. 27 points for a third-year, just player. John Morant is nice, everybody. Granted, the team is, I think, 20-3 without him. He still provides this team with offense. He dishes the ball. He's averaging 1 less assist than last year, but he's still that go-to guy. He's been shooting it way better than anyone thought that he would these past few years. It usually takes young kids to their prime. To even shoot this well, and he did it within 2 years of in the league. He's also averaging 6 rebounds. He's lengthy. He'll grab the boards. He ain't afraid to dunk on you. Everybody, we have a superstar. A superstar in the making, at least. I'd say this year he's a top, 10 player in the league. But to be safe, we'll do top 15 player in the league. He is my pick for most improved player. Easily. Hands down. No question in my mind. John Morant, 27 points. Everybody, he's the real deal. All right. Defensive Player of the Year. This is another huge award. We have Rudy, Giannis, Jaren Jackson Jr., Draymond Green, and Mikal Bridges. We got a lot to go over. Not a lot, but just we got to talk about these guys. They deserve it. They worked hard this season. We're going to start off with my guy, Rudy Gobert, Jazz fan. Like I said earlier, 105.1 defensive rating, 2.1 blocks. Keep in mind, defensive rating is better when it's kind of like golf. The lower score, the better it is. So 105.1 Rudy Gobert. I saw a graphic the other day of Rudy Gobert defending, or how many shots he's defended, and what the percentage was compared to everybody else. He was an outlier, everybody. No one was even close to touching Rudy Gobert at all. Rudy posted it on his story, and that's how I saw it, but he's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year for a reason. Now, people might get voters fatigue for voting him again, and I think that's the reason why he wouldn't get it, but they are sitting at the 5 seed. Granted, that is low and not all Rudy's fault at all, and they like to exploit him for like the media loves to take shots at Rudy and just discredit this guy. And man, Rudy has done so much for this Jazz team. He's the cornerstone. He's the defensive anchor. He defends everybody, not just one guy. He defends the whole team. Our Jazz team leads everybody to Rudy, and he'll block it. Man, he's a great defender. Easily top 10 in this last decade, maybe even top 5. All right, next we got Giannis Antetokounmpo, sitting at 107.5 defensive rating. Don't really know what place that is in the NBA. 2 seed, 1.5 blocks. He is athletic, and he will block you. He is Chase Down Artist Hall of Fame, you know? Like, Giannis, he's one defensive player, I think it was 2 years ago. And he's still freaky, athletic, and he will defend anything. He'll go across the court. Like, you won't even see him coming, and he'll just smack it. He'll steal it. He'll rip it. Can't really get around him. He is a great perimeter defender. And if you blow by him, like I say, he's just going to block you. So, Giannis is nice. Giannis is a great defender. I think he's earned a spot in Defensive Player of the Year. Mikal Bridges, our only guard on here. He's our only guard. I think he's more of a small forward, but he defends everybody. He'll defend Rudy. He'll defend Kevin Durant, LeBron. I know I put Rudy in that category. I was just getting to the point that he defends centers. He'll defend. I think I saw him defending Joel Embiid at one point. He will switch and take you on no matter who you are. He's got that mindset of, you're in front of me, I'm going to keep you in front of me, and you're not going to get past me. Mikal Bridges defends the best player every night, like I just said, but he's at 106.8 Defensive Player of the Year, or defensive rating. He's better than Giannis in the rating, defensive. Keep wanting to say Defensive Player of the Year rating. It's not that. Defensive rating is a little bit better. Big reason why the Suns are the 1 seed. He's averaging a steal almost and a half. It's great defense. What more can I say about Mikal Bridges? He's a great player. Next we have Draymond Green, 103.2 defensive rating. He's the best defensive rating here. They're at the 3 seed right now. 1.5 steals a game and a block a game. Draymond gets a lot of hate. And don't really know why. Actually, I do know why. But Warriors have a great defender. He'll defend everybody as well. Guard, center, doesn't matter who it is. He's got that mindset just like Mikal, except he's a little more verbal about it and trash talks you. The only reason I cannot see him winning this award this year is because he hasn't played enough games. Simple as that. That's the only reason. If he played more, he would 100% win it. I just wanted to give him his flowers. He still can win it, but he just hasn't played enough. I don't think he's eligible. Not too sure about the rules. Haven't really read up on that, but he would probably be my pick if it weren't for the games played. Next we have Jaren Jackson Jr. 105.4 defensive rating. 2 seed, 2.3 blocks per game. Don't know if he's the leading blocks leader this year, but really has upped his game this year in defense, as well as shooting the ball. He's hit a game winner against my Utah Jazz team. He's great. Jaren Jackson definitely learned a little bit from, I think, Steven Adams. He knows where to be. He's got that defensive mind. I want to say who he reminds me of, but I can't remember his name. Oh, same Grizzlies player. I think he reminds me a little bit of Marcus All. A little bit. If you can see that, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on what Jaren's potential is. But right now, kind of debating between two players, Giannis and Rudy. I would have put Draymond if he played enough games. That's it. Draymond would have 100% won this if he was playing like he was throughout the whole season. But just can't see him winning. I want to say either of these players. In all honesty, I think it's going to go to Giannis. I do want my guy Rudy Gobert to win this award. Feel like he's 100% earned his reason to this award. So I'm going to just leave it at that. Hopefully you guys don't get mad at me for not specifically picking a player. But these two players have exceeded expectations coming into the season. Even Rudy Gobert this year, even though he's won it in his past few years. As well as Giannis. He's won it, like I said, a few years ago. But these guys have solidified themselves as the top two finalists in Defensive Player of the Year. Next, we have MVP. Man, there have been a lot of good players. Honorable mentions: Chris Paul, Steph Curry, and you can even count Devin Booker in this MVP race. But let's just... Whoa. We're going to start off with LeBron James. 30.3 points at 37. What 37-year-old has done that? Please tell me. Please tell me. Yeah, I don't think any. Maybe someone that shouldn't be named, but I don't think so. Let me know if you know who I'm talking about. But LeBron James, he's been like this his whole career. He hasn't aged a day. LeBron is so good. One of the top greatest players of all time, if not the greatest player of all time. Definitely top two. I'm not going to say who number one is. He could be one, he could be two. I'll let you decide that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Alright. LeBron has not... he's been doing good, but he's not in the playoffs. Right now, as we speak, he's sitting at the 11th seed. A lot of that is due to his teammates, but the reason why his points could be inflated is because his team isn't performing. Yes, he's putting up the points, but he's not doing this on a high seed. I know Anthony Davis is injured. I know Westbrook isn't performing to expectations going to the season. Everyone thought that they might even win the West, and it doesn't look like they are going to at all. Now it's unfortunate for Braun because I know he's trying his best. I know he's putting up 50. Man, this guy is unbelievable, but I just cannot put him as MVP this year. Man, I can't believe it. Next, we're going to go with Kevin Durant. We got 29.6 points, 7.3 rebounds, 6 assists. But the 10 seed, Kevin Durant is unguardable. He's a great player. I know there's been drama with James Harden, and their team isn't really that deep. They got a little bit of washed players in Blake Griffin. LaMarcus Aldridge has actually been doing pretty well in recent games, but I know their team isn't fully healthy, and they've had that Kyrie Irving situation, and it just hasn't been going well for them. But he's still getting beat by... I think they just got beat by the Pistons the other day. It's not Kevin's fault, but at some point you just I can't put you in as the MVP if you're not winning games, you know? That's why Trae Young got hate for being an all-star starter one year. you just can't be MVP if you're not winning. So that same thing with LeBron. You can't win MVP, Kevin. I love you. You're one of my top favorite basketball players to watch ever. Ever. He's just that good. But these three other guys have made themselves the top three candidates. Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid. We're going to start with Giannis. I already talked about him. He's averaging 30 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 seed. He's the highest seed out of all these players. Like, they're fighting for that one spot against the Miami Heat. But Giannis is great. I think what puts him over some of these players is defense. Like, he's in Defensive Player of the Year conversations as well as MVP. Giannis is great. Giannis knows, like, how to win. He won a championship last year. Voter fatigue might not want to see him win MVP, but you can't deny greatness, you know? So Giannis is one of the candidates for MVP. You got Jokic. What can I say about Jokic? Let's see. 26 points a game, 8 assists, 13 rebounds. He's a team player. He's the epitome of a team player. He gets his teammates involved every play. He tries to. He looks around, scans the floor. One of the greatest basketball IQs that we have in our league today. He's a great guy. Hilarious. Like, what can't you love about this guy? I mean, other than that he bests your teams in 3-1 comebacks. Jazz. Clippers. But Jokic is a great player. Not too much else to say, honestly, about Jokic. He's past MVP, or last year's MVP. He could win it again this year. Next, we have Joel Embiid. 30 points. I think he's number 1 or 2 in the league for scoring. 11.5 rebounds, 4 assists. Embiid's hilarious. I know he's gotten some hate recently from getting all of his points from the free throw line, but if they ain't fouling him, he's just going to get a bucket anyway. Little less of a team player than Jokic, but he wins. He wins. That speaks for itself. If you're winning games and putting up those numbers, that means it matters. That means that he's doing something right. And they are definitely a finals contender. They have James Harden, and I don't see like any problems with their bench. They have Tobias Harris as that third scorer. Like, they have good defenders, Matisse Thybulle, shooters. They can space, and I think that's one of the reasons why Joel is doing so great. Granted that he was doing this last year, but man, Joel is phenomenal. So, my pick for MVP is going to be Giannis Antetokounmpo. Not a Bucks fan either. Everybody, Giannis is doing great things. Last year's finals not contender. I mean, yeah, but he won the championship last year with his Bucks team. He's a great defender, and I think that's the reason why he won MVP. And for me, is because if you get a guy that can do everything and win games, like, he's the MVP. No denying that. And if you're denying that, you're wrong. You're lying to yourself. But yeah, everybody, that is my 2022 NBA season award predictions, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope that it came off the way that you would like, and I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like. It would mean so much to me. Yeah, have a great day, everyone. Like and subscribe.